ahwefo native for yema watching some kwaba edoba daily update TV so na dey na kwa NDC amanyoko no the youth wing George Opare lawyer George Opare Pablo said the name Pablo George Opare Pablo na no minimum Oma lanche omo NDC manifesto. That was very interesting. You see a team for the in Trebi Bienja into the Manifesto no yakwa record live a manifesto youth manifesto no any the best team for a year emranti ahodo. You see how talented and a good policies are. Just say omo dia ku akwa mu na very powerful. A very powerful power. Na just say yenko ni video no na why just say talented youth just say and someone ranting and can that they are well coached with what brains with good manifesto abusia yenko ni video no video a very not just say manifesto no one of the gentleman can say share manifesto no my mama mo di church stations just say they are giving a accessibility and I say easy accessible say omobeko facility
Nana Jane Oboku Ajiman, the running mate of our flag bearer. I want to acknowledge all the national executives who are here. I want to particularly acknowledge our national youth organizer George Opariado, who leads this great movement of young people and who has made it possible for us today to have this wonderful program. I want to particularly acknowledge also Professor Danso Boafo, who is the chairman of the Manifesto Committee, for the wonderful work that has resulted in this first part of the manifesto that is devoted for the young people, and also the main manifesto that will soon be adored. We do know that our friends have rushed into doing their manifesto, I think, in a few days' time. But we are not moved at all, because what is quality remains quality. And whether they try to plagiarize or steal our ideas, we know that our ideas cannot be stolen by anybody. I want to thank every single one of you here and the millions of Ghanaians who are watching and listening to us today. As we gathered here this morning and we sang the inspiring words of our anthem, which my sister Shemima described as the NDC national anthem. The words of that anthem said, "Arise, arise for Ghana, all patriots of the land." And then we sang the youth anthem. And that youth anthem says, "Arise, Ghana youth, for your country." Now what does that tell you? It tells you that the NDC is a party whose anthem connects to the very anthem of the youth of our country. And both anthems call upon us to arise for our beautiful motherland. The destiny of this country is in the hands of you, the young people. This morning, as the young people were asked to stand, some of us actually have to sit, because even though Fountain will be called youth, we have to acknowledge we have gradually moved to the level where we can no more be exact youth today, and therefore we need to devote ourselves to serving the generation beyond after us for the sake of our country. And I want to say that the generation after us, you have a responsibility to salvage our country. Today, the flag bearer of our party is after the destiny of our young people. He will elaborate plans, which plans we believe will set this country back towards giving hope and prosperity to our young people again. Over the last 8 years, we've seen the hopes of our young people totally crushed. I don't think there's been any time in our history, maybe prior to 1982, when we've seen so many young people want to leave this country in droves, as we have seen over the last 8 years. It's sad. It's sad that this country, that on the verge of 2009, when the NDC came to office, we had young people who were trooping back to this country from the US, UK, different parts of the world, because they saw hope of a country that was again looking towards building back. And unfortunately, over the last 8 years, we have seen nothing short of the collapse of the economy of this country and the loss of hope and the despair of our young people. Now, so we do know that the policies that are going to be unveiled today will begin to give you hope again. But the hope is not just in the policies. Because you know what? Anybody can have a policy. Anybody at all can have a policy. Over the last 8 years, we have seen policies that have been unveiled. How many of you remember NABCO? What has happened? What has happened to that? Because it was nothing but a scam and 419 policy. It was a policy that was designed just for votes. The difference between us and them is that we think about policy first for progress before votes. Our policies are meant for progress before votes. So whereas they think about power, we think about progress. And that is the difference between a party that cares and a party that only wants votes for the sake of votes. In John Dramani Mahama and the NDC, you are finding a leader of a political party that is not perfect, but a leader of a political party that has credibility and that wants to put the progress of our nation as number one. So these are policies that you can trust, as opposed to policies that are simply put out there in order to deceive you for your votes, and as soon as the vote is obtained, you are forgotten about. The young people of Ghana, we do not believe that our policies alone are going to deliver heaven. But what John Dramani Mahama is going to do is to reach out to you in a partnership, trusting that your creativity, your capacity to find your own answers, together with the policies we bring, are the means by which the transformation of our country can truly begin. So we want to thank you for this opportunity to reach out to all of you in your homes, in your workplaces, wherever you may be, asking you to give an opportunity for the flag bearer of this great party to reach out to you with detailed policies that you can trust. Policies that mean well for Ghana. Policies that are not just telling you things for the sake of power, but telling you things truly for the sake of progress. So I want to thank you once more for the opportunity. And once again, Pablo and your team, thank you for this great opportunity. God bless.
That my country will be better. Under the audience.
Director International Relations, Mr. Broja Jemfi, Deputy Director Special Duties, Honorable.
I stand on all the protocols of the distinguished guests.
Because of finished consumables. Exactly 6 months ago, the kidney unit had to be shut down again. This time, because of rising debt. A year ago, the Cape Coast Teaching Hospital announced that they were raising funds to set up a radiotherapy center. And just this July, the radiotherapy center at Kolebu Teaching Hospital broke down completely because of the increasing number of patients, now seeing 60 per day, and then also because of the sheer cost in managing and repairing these machines. Ladies and gentlemen, what is the common denominator to all of these health system challenges? Young people. Young people. Increasingly, we are seeing young people suffering cardiac arrest, strokes, kidney failure, and cancer. And the issue of unsustainable funding in healthcare is one that is of great concern to President John Mahama and the fund, which will help to manage these chronic conditions, support people with kidney failures, with cancer, and with hypertensive disorders. We know that there are lifestyle issues at stake, and so we are not just going to focus on the treatment, and we are going to start a Food for All initiative. And under this initiative, we'll work with nutritionists in Ghana to use local foods to address underlying anemia, childhood obesity, and then children who are stunted, because it's a real issue in Ghana. Also, the NDC is going to invest in infrastructure and spaces and create community parks. I'm sure many of you have seen all the spaces in your community taken up by concrete jungles, cement buildings. President Mahama is going to create these spaces so that the community parks are going to help introduce an exercise culture so that people can become healthier. Now, all the things I've spoken about have got to do with tertiary care, specialized care. But the NDC's policies are not just about tertiary care. You'll be happy to learn that there's quite a lot, whether it is at the community level, whether it is in the hospitals, whether it's in the teaching hospitals. President Mahama's program is solid, it's all-encompassing, and it's integrated. There are some other activities that we planned for us to improve access to care. There is the pharmacy care program, the pharmacy program. And what we are going to do under this, the NDC is going to do under this, is to change the regime so that pharmacies can have clinics attached to them. By this way, the care is going to be closer to people in the community. Also, we've heard about students not being referred to hospitals early from boarding schools, and some of them dying. And the NDC's manifesto is going to set up satellite clinics as an elevated form of the sick base in all boarding schools. All boarding schools will have satellite clinics. Not just clinics, they will be manned by qualified health professionals, so that when you're a child and you fall ill, you'll be attended to promptly, and if you need to be referred, you will be referred on time. NDC, we are all about the regular people. So we are not leaving out passengers, we are not leaving out drivers, we are not leaving out market women. What we intend to do is to attach clinics to markets and then trotro stations. This way, should you fall sick at work, you'll be attended to promptly instead of going around hospitals and not having a bed to sleep in. We've talked extensively about what we are going to do for the rest of the people. What I need us to realize is that Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman and President Mahama's policies touch the health professionals as well. We have not forgotten about doctors, we have not forgotten about nurses, we have not forgotten about pharmacists or laboratory technicians. And we have quite a number of programs for them. The NDC's manifesto talks about a health worker migration policy. Where we are producing more health workers than we can use, we are going to come up with a framework where we will regulate how people migrate outside the country for better exchange of knowledge, and then to also benefit the health system from the revenue that we would get. We introduced the vehicle tax waiver system, and we are bringing it back. This time, we will regulate it better so that it would incentivize health workers in the country. The NDC government under President Mahama is going to roll out, thank you. All right, let's do this. The program is going to roll out a 5-year work abroad program workers who are contributing under very challenging circumstances. When I say these things, you should understand that when President Mahama was in office, he did I mean, you can be his opponent and you can say you will not use UGMC because it was built by President Mahama. But if you refuse to use it, COVID will expose you. Ladies and gentlemen, these interventions would only be possible if we have an experienced, competent, and trustworthy leader who doesn't say one thing and do the opposite. That leader is President John Dramani Mahama. He's the hope for the youth of this country, and I urge everybody to vote massively for John Mahama in December 2024. God bless you.
Another round of applause for Dr. Soji Tete. We will build a healthy nation together. Let me just quickly please note that the town hall for this evening is not Bukom Square but Bukom Arena, the Bukom Boxing Arena. We are going to box the MPP out of power. So please join us at the Bukom Boxing Arena, not Bukom Square, 6 p.m. Next to speak to us is the vexed matter of mining. What is our response and our pledge to the issue of youth in mining? That is the next topic. And to do us the honors, we have a small-scale miner in the person of Raymond Nana Eba. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Raymond Nana Eba.
Obia Ensuya fire the Emeka ana odwen oma yedi ensempo ebeto nanim na yedi ensempo bre no ogitu mu se bana oba no small scale mining for obete board a ebehye yenjuma yebeye ewo efom agudie ene so the board no na ebehye yenjuma yebeye ewo small scale mining amu owia oso onwie aban we ba ye yene small scale mining na enim enade ye nhihye no enso ye ba ye excavators yi o ma hihye ne sa ama yenyina no yakofom nanso the president Mahama ni ye hia ye no o se bana oba no yene small scale miners for adeba ko a higher pa ne se yene lances dodo ana no lances a yene nti no obi aba otumi besisi ye no agye gold ana wagye no normal ana wahye machines no ko free anunti one ye trance no ye de to nani ma ne ti ase man say bana oba no first no me fi me wasa kropon a ade se me ban cry ansa na metuma ye lances we de to ye papa anim ye papa say bana oba no obe free paga obe free wasa kropon obe duru ha no na line aba ko di so no na ewa anunti ode ko ode office no eba ye ne ankase aso ye obebie na district bia ane municipal bia ama wo so watuma den alliance se wo de ade ba ko a esa high and small scale miners ye papa ye ya aye de bebre pa ne se ya lance se wie no aya ne nya fund ye de be start adwuma ye ne youth ya ye pese e ba man ni mu yi aya na di bebre abrawanya last sawie eto o se o set up oni ye hia no ye de to na ni mo ti ase se nyame ye na dum na small scale miners for ye ta na chi ama na be wini o se oba o set up small scale mining investment fund ama youth bia o pese oba mining mu na ono